Imagine a world where the software that powers your bank, your smartphone, even the internet itself are written decade ago by programmers who may no longer even be alive. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, it's not. The world today still depends on code that's over 50 years old. I'm talking about the C programming language, the backbone of modern computing that most people have never heard of, and even fewer know how to use it. So what makes C so special? Well, C was designed to do one thing exceptionally well: give programmers direct control over hardware while still being relatively easy to use. And this made it a go-to language to build operating systems, network servers, database, and even game engines. Think about it. Linux, Windows, Mac OS, they all have C in their DNA. And while newer languages like Python or JavaScript might grab all the headlines, they would not exist without C as their foundation. But here is the catch. Despite its dominance, the number of developers who actually know how to code in C is shrinking. Most programmers today are more comfortable with the high-level languages that handle a lot of the heavy lifting for them. But C is raw, powerful, and unforgiving. One mistake that you could crash the entire system. Yet, this is exactly why industries like banking, healthcare, and even space exploration still rely on C. It's fast, it's efficient, and when you are dealing with millions of transactions or critical systems, you need that level of control and reliability. And because of that, C is still running behind that screen in ways most people don't even realize. From the software that handles ATM transactions to the system controlling air traffic, C is the heart of some of the most critical infrastructure in the world. It's so deeply embedded in these systems that switching to a newer language would be incredibly risky and expensive. Companies and government would rather maintain decade-old C code than risk disturbing essential services. And it's not only about the risk, it's also about performance. C was designed for efficiency. Unlike modern languages that add layers of abstractions, C gives you direct control over memory and hardware. That's why it's still unbeatable for tasks that require maximum speed and minimum resources like embedded systems or real-time applications. This is why everything from medical devices to automotive systems still rely heavily on C to function properly. But here is a challenge: finding people who still know how to maintain and upgrade these C-based systems. The average C programmers today in their 50s, and with fewer young developers learning the language, there's growing skills gap. They are sitting on millions of lines of C code, and without enough developers who understand the language, maintaining these systems become harder and riskier every single year. And the skill gap might get worse. Many developers today are drawn to modern languages like Python, which is easier to learn and come with tons of library that handles complex tasks. But here is the thing: those languages still own a lot from C. Python, for example, is written in C, and many of the core libraries in these high-level languages are built on C for performance. So even if you think you are not working with C, chances are C is working behind the scene to make your code run smoothly. And for sure, it might not have fancy features like built-in machine learning support or graphical interfaces, but it's a rock-solid foundation that modern languages is built on. As long as industries need speed, reliability, and control, C will maintain a critical part of the tech ecosystem. And while some companies might slowly transition away from C, moving from C to new languages is not just a technical challenge, it is a financial and operational risk. Imagine rewriting millions of lines of code that control critical infrastructure and the potential cost of even a small mistake. That's why most companies choose to stick with C, at least just for now. And that's why C is still a silent hero in the world of programming. It is not a trendy language that you hear in tech blogs, but it's powering some of the most important systems in the world. And while most of the developers today may overlook it, without C, modern computing as we know it simply would not exist. As we look to the future of programming, it's clear that C has left an undeniable legacy. For those who are starting their coding journey, it can feel overwhelming to navigate all the complexities of programming, whether it's C or any other programming language. If you're feeling stuck or unsure about where to begin, then you are not alone. I struggled too until I learned a few key principles that changed everything. To make coding easier and more fun, check out my other video, Coding Was Hard Until I Learned These 3 Things. You will find practical insights that can turn your struggle into success. And thank you for watching.